Dr. Rogers Sekulima. He is a gynecologist, and for all the women out there, it's more time, and also men, please, actually family planning is not a thing that is only done by the women, but men should be a part of it. So you need to listen carefully. If you need, get yourself a notebook and listen, and also note down. I am Mita Kanya with Malaki Villa Odera on this conversation, and also with a doctor.
Right. And we are joined by Dr. Rogers Sekulima. He is a gynecologist here in the country. Welcome to the show. And we're happy that you are actually a man, because now you'll get to talk to the men. Apparently, according to this report, it's the men who are making women shun away from getting contraception, either for family planning or for prevention and protection against STIs and STDs. Where is this notion coming from, and how do we demystify this for men to understand?
To first give a simple overview about the contraceptives. Contraceptives, just like any drugs, have some side effects, but these contraceptives have been studied and brought forth to the world to control unwanted pregnancies. You find that there can be very many myths surrounding the contraception because of our culture, our beliefs, our religions, but it is very important for someone to have children they have planned for. In Uganda, we see that our contraceptive prevalence rate has gone on increasing over the years. In 2006, we were around 18%. In 2016, the studies that were done by the UDHS showed 39%. However, we still have a highest unmet need for contraception and in East Africa. These myths that surround contraception are mainly covering three areas: the fertility bit of it, the cosmetic bit of it, and some people come into relating cancer, the health bit of it. The fertility bit of it, you find that women think that when they use contraception, they are not going to do it to conceive. The contraception is going to make you barren.
Is it true though?
It's not true.
Will it delay the process of you having a child?
Contraceptions don't delay the process of you having a child. And most of these contraceptions, when you stop them, you immediately conceive. You know, it is very good for a person who is seeking contraception to go to a medical practitioner and they tell them the different contraceptions, they tell them the side effects, they tell them when would I conceive if I stop using this contraception.
Doctors, we talk about the myths. There are those myths right now on the screen. One being nausea and vomiting, spotting. There's also the low sex drive, the mood swings, dizziness and headaches that some people say they get when they take these different contraceptives.
Nausea and vomiting, dizziness, mood swings. These are some of the simple side effects that people can get.
Simple side effects.
Yes.
Low libido? Is it a simple side effect?
Not that we are going to talk about it. Not that we are going to talk about it. But when we talk about nausea and vomiting, there are people who even take Panadol and get nausea and vomiting. There are people who take simple drugs like iron tablets and get dizziness and headaches. They get mood swings. We can have mood swings because most of these contraceptions are highly hormonal. They can highly affect the functioning of our bodies. The low libido, yes, some contraceptions can cause a change in libido, but they may cause a change in libido in you and they don't cause a change in libido in her. So people's bodies are different. The most feared contraceptions for the women I've met, most of them don't want to gain weight. So that is highly cosmetic. They don't want to gain weight. They don't want to get acne.
Yes.
And we see that contraceptions actually are used in the management of acne.
For them that have acne?
Yes.
Okay.
And those people who don't want to gain weight, we know that even if you don't take these contraceptions, you can gain weight. Gaining weight is highly diet exercise. And if we see that you're gaining weight and you're not compatible with the contraceptive method we have given you, we want to change the method, because we have very many methods that are hormonal and non-hormonal.
Let's go into the methods, maybe.
Yes,
Rita.
the compatibility. When you talk about how do I know that I'm compatible with a particular contraceptive? Because I'll just go and say I want a contraceptive. Is it a pill? What does a person need to look out for?
First, we want to educate you about the different types of contraception that we have. After educating you about the different type of contraception we have, we want you to choose, because I may be able to take my pill every day and my other colleague cannot take this pill every day. She will prefer getting an IUD that we can remove in 12 years. Another one will prefer having an implant that will be for 3 years. Another one will take an injectable that will take 3 months. So first is acceptance and willingness to use that type of contraception. Because if you cannot take the pill and you go to the health facility and you get these pills, you're going to get pregnant in the next week.
True. Yes.
But I wanted, my presentation was more about the myths. We talked about gaining weight. That is on the other side. That is a simple myth that people don't always talk about. People have always talked about contraception causing cancer. Contraception actually protects.
Against cancer?
It protects
How?
against cancer. We have the pills. The pills will protect you from ovarian cancer. They will protect you from endometrial cancer. So, the mechanism of action is broad if we start talking about it. But we are seeing that these contraception are protective. Then on the men side of it, men, we are very unlucky that we have very few contraceptive methods we can use. Nobody has, research is going on, they are trying to develop pills that men can take, just like women are taking. But the only contraceptive method we have the barrier method, which is the condom.
Right.
And then we have the one that stops everything, where they cut your tubes.
Vasectomy.
And you don't need to conceive, to impregnate anyone again.
Doctor, how then do you explain a majority of women who, of course, have come out? We do, thanks to social media, women now are talking. We have these groups that we talk on fertility, on pregnancy, and stuff like that. How then do you explain a majority of women who say that I got my firstborn child, took X contraceptive method, by the time I wanted to get a second baby, I stopped that method, or if it was an implant, I took it out. If it was, whatever, I stopped. But I could not immediately get pregnant. Some even say that it took me 10 years, 5 years, 2 years, depending. How do you explain that then?
Most of these women will come out and blame the contraceptive. But sometimes fertility is a broad topic. And it's not only the contraceptive that might have caused this lady not to conceive again. Yes, we have contraceptives that do have a delayed return to fertility, especially if used in mothers who have low parity, those who have given birth to very few children, like 1 or 2. The most common contraceptive that can cause that is the Depo-Provera, the injection that is given, the one you get every 3 months. Some women do conceive immediately if they want to, but there's some little percentage of people who take a long period of time to return to fertility. But fertility, in women, it is governed by many things. You may be there blaming the contraception when you have tubal blockage. You may be there blaming the contraception when you are not ovulating. So it is not a blame to contraception that this woman who took the contraception has taken 10 years.
Okay.
It is really very important this lady sees a gynecologist and they find out why. you'll find that it's on the contraception.
Okay. So, doctor, as we wrap this conversation up, one thing that you have mentioned, different types of contraceptives. Which ones would you put at the top of the list that people should not be likely to use unless otherwise? Because there must be some, as you said, Depo-Vera that you mentioned. That one and what it comes with. What should they be looking out to use?
I think the most important message is if someone is seeking contraception, they should first go to a health worker and they get the knowledge about the contraception. I'm not saying that Depo-Vera is a very bad contraception. No. We are saying that we don't want to give it to a mother who is having one child and is going to have another one the next 2 years. Because we think that it might cause a delayed return to fertility, though it may not. So we want her to go to a health facility and the health worker will tell her that this one may cause this. So I prefer you take pills, because you know that pills, when you stop them today, tomorrow you can get pregnant.
Okay.
You know that the implant, if you remove them today, tomorrow you can get pregnant. The same to IUDs.
Doctor, yes, your last comment as we now bring this to a close. What's your advice to young campus-going or college-going girls who now take the morning after pill and abuse it? What are the dire side effects of this, abusing this particular pill? What are the side effects to their health and also to their facility?
The emergency contraceptive pill wouldn't have been a very bad contraception. However, most of our friends are taking them like sweets. Take them today, take them tomorrow, and the other day. We prefer that if somebody is to take an emergency pill, at least once in a cycle.
In a cycle.
So what is that cycle? Let's talk about that cycle.
Let's say you have your periods today, and you're going to take 28 days to get your other period. So within these 28 days, at least you take this emergency pill once. But you find that my friends, the campus can take like 3 times or 4 times.
What are the side effects?
The side effects, you know that this emergency contraceptive pill has a high percentage of the hormone, because we want to stop the pregnancy. It has a high percentage of the hormone. So chances of it disorganizing the hormonal environment in your body are high. That's why you find that sometimes when people take them, she can have her period earlier, or she can actually take a longer period of time to get her periods. Or sometimes, just like any other contraceptive, they also fail, and someone can get pregnant.
Wow. So you'd say stay away from them if you must once in your cycle.
But they can get, there are other, you know, people should know that contraceptive is safe. Even if you've never given birth to a child, you can go and get a very safe contraception. And you don't need to take emergency pills every day.
But how young do you have to be to start taking these contraceptives as we?
You can be very young. Even an adolescent can take contraception.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But of course not under 18.
You know, people are shying away from the fact that we have a high percentage of teenage pregnancies in Uganda. And when you talk about adolescent contraception, people think it is a joke. We should, if you see that you have a teenage girl who is sexually active, please go to a health worker and get contraception.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Yeah, you know what? As parents, we like burying our heads in the sand, believing that I've raised my child well, my child does not do this, but now we have the expert to give you the advice. Just, you know, have these conversations with the children, get to know, are they sexually active, and help them, because P2s, morning after pills, actually work against your children or against even you as an adult. So now you have the information. As men, let's support our women, let's go for these methods, but of course the caveat is, before you get into any method, seek expert advice. Very important. That's it for Take Note segment. Thank you so much, Doctor, for coming in studios. Really helped us, you know, break that down and demystify this particular myths. Thank you so much. Of course, we'll have you back when we get a lot of reactions and maybe further questions for you. That has been it for this particular segment. Don't go too far. Reality on the Ground is up next.
watching Morning at NTV.
Every day I see patients who come to me suffering from infectious diseases caused by germs, from typhoid to diarrhea, flu.
Are you dreaming of longer and thicker hair, or of long and natural eyelashes? Try Placent Active Hair Growth Product.